You're listening to Lyfe and Shyt. I'm Daneyel Walker.
And I'm Tommy Walker.
Join us as we talk about our journey overcoming fears, boundaries, marriage, family, lifestyle, business, and whatever other shit you can think of.
We're individuals that came together to create one unit with one mind and one goal. What's up, girl?
What's up, baby?
How you feeling?
I'm good. How you feeling?
I am outstanding.
Outstanding. Hey.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I feel like I can say Happy New Year for at least a month.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just make sure I remember it.
Yeah. like step out, step in.
How was your day?
Today was pretty good. Kind of hectic, kind of crazy. It was. Started off at the cafe, ended up in the office, and actually ended up here, right?
Yeah. Got stuck in, you was on base. And they shut the base down on you.
Yeah. That was an experience.
So that's why you was late.
Yeah.
Danielle was late tonight to the studio.
That was an experience. And then I got out, everybody's standing or sitting there in their cars, right? It was just three of us, and then we're honking. I'm honking. What's going on, because they're not saying anything. They're just standing there, but they're way up above us, the military people. And the guy in front of us, he just gets out the car and he's looking at me it's not my fault. And I'm like, I'm not honking at you. I'm honking at them. So then it's pouring down rain. So I put my hood on, then I walk to the front, and I get past the first car a little bit, and then somebody else get back in your car, no. And I'm I was about to yell back, what's going on? But I was let me just turn around.
So I don't get, I don't get if everybody's in traffic and we all in the same spot, why honk? What's the point of honking?
I don't know, but shortly after that, the people behind me, so it started, there's a long line, and then they started to honk, and then when one person started to honk, other people started to honk, and then so it's just honk, 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 and then I was well, fuck it, I'm about to honk too.
It's just join the honking crowd.
Because tell us something, man, why you have us just sitting here? Anywho, yeah, that was a bit annoying.
That I could totally understand, because you came in all right, let's do this.
Let's do this. Let's go.
Yeah, today was pretty cool. I mean, we started the day with having our meeting. Mm-hmm. We had a nice little meeting about everything that we got going on in our businesses, trying to get our lives together. I was telling MT, our producer, we're trying to dial in our lives for this year. Mm-hmm. And as much as that sounds you guys got it dialed in, no, we got a lot of shit going on all over the place. And one of those things is, we're empty nesters.
Yeah.
Kind of lightweight.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, our youngest daughter will be 17 years old this year. Mm-hmm. And she's pretty much doing her own thing.
Yeah, we have she's with us 50% of the time, but now she's with us whenever on her time.
Yeah. Now it's her time. I remember fighting for so much. No, I want my kids. My kids. And now I see that kid. I got to text her hey, put me on your schedule, which is cool. But
true.
Yeah, but having an empty house, that's something different. We came home and the house looked exactly how it looked when we left.
Yeah.
But our son came over yesterday. And I told him, I was hey, bro,
that was funny.
When you show up, you don't live here no more. So when you show up, you might want to send a text first.
Yeah, send a kite out. Hey.
Exactly. Because you might walk into something.
And that's what we don't want to do. Shoot. I mean, honestly, we were the heat was on. We were okay, we're gonna get butt naked around here, just walk around.
We was ready.
Yeah, he would have came in and been oh.
Literally, if he would have walked in 5 minutes later.
Yep.
He'd have been And he's 19 years old, right? He's so our son is 19 years old. He walks in through the side door, and all of our kids use the side door for whatever reason. Nobody comes through the front.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's a weird. Sneaky way.
Yeah. So he walks in, and both me and Danielle was oh shit, who the fuck's walking in the
who
house?
has keys?
Yeah. So we was thinking all right, should we take the keys from him?
No.
And he's nah, because in emergency, might need to show up, or we might need you to go do something.
True.
So now it's hey, bro. Text.
Yeah. Let me know.
Yeah. And it's funny because people are like that, right? We people always be I don't somebody knock at the door I don't know who's showing up. Don't just pop up.
Yeah, right.
Is that a black people thing?
Yeah.
So black people just be don't show up in my house.
And then if you do, you're just gonna be knocking.
Yeah,
I ain't answering the door.
I'm gonna let you in.
I was not expecting you. I wonder. That's true. I don't know. I got an opportunity to teach our oldest daughter the savers today. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's a throwback.
Yeah, right. And she's like, "Where do you learn these things, Mom?" And it's just like, "Girl, I taught this I taught this in a shelter, you know." And you know, she's like, "Okay, so savers for any of you that don't know, or if you do a little reminder, because we did talk about it on the past podcast before, but I was basically showing her how to set up a morning routine and then also a nighttime routine. The morning routine is the savers, and savers is an easy way to remember it. It's silence. It's where you do something silently: meditation, reflection, prayer, and A is affirmation.
Scribe. S is scribe.
There's another S. I'll get to it.
And then,
right. So silence, affirmations. You could either say affirmations, write affirmations down, listen to affirmations. And then V is for visualizations. This is where you can create a vision board for yourself. Sometimes you could do it on your phone, do something creative, but it's nice if you print out something, actually cut it out and put it down. E is for exercise. I told my daughter, she needs to get back into working out, but even
push-ups.
Stretching, breathing, yoga, sun A, sun B, like running yourself through something very simple. I told her to look up what a sun A was, and I was like, it's a very simple yoga flow you can do. It takes you no longer than 5 minutes to do each one. And then the last S is scribe, and that is to write in your journal. And I gave her a journal.
Super dope.
Yeah. So and then
pretty fucking impressive journal too.
Yes. It was dope. And then creating nighttime rituals as well and things to do. What are some nighttime rituals you have?
Brush my teeth.
Yeah, that's true. Some things that I'm going to incorporate into my nighttime rituals now is one thing that I've always wanted to do is just say the things that I'm grateful for. So just maybe take time just to think about the things that I'm grateful for, not only for that day, but just in my life. And then also to set myself up for the next day. So that's set my intentions. And then also my dreams, and to have a notepad next to me with a pen, because it is my desire to write a screenplay this year. So when going to sleep, I want to act. When I go to sleep, I say I'm going to have a good night. My intentions are to have a good restful sleep, to wake up fully awake, and to remember whatever is in my dreams so that I can create my screenplay.
So you're taking it back to the old school, like when you used to, because you used to keep a notepad next to your bed.
Yep.
And then you had different things that as soon as you woke up, kind of the first thing you would look at.
Yep.
You had those things set up. So you're taking it back to the old school for 2023, which I really appreciate that. And you asked me what are my routines, and I made a joke, brush my teeth, but I read. So I used to only read in the morning and then sometime in the afternoon, but now I read at night as well. So so that's how I double the amount that I read. So whatever I read in the morning, I read the same thing at night.
Okay.
So get my pages in. And then, of course, my schedule, I reflect and journal as well. I don't physically journal at night. Sometimes I do, but because most of my journaling is in the morning. But sometimes if I want to get something down, it's like, all right, let me journal. But reflecting is the biggest part. Like I got to reflect on the day.
And that's one thing that you and I had on my schedule for a long time for us to reflect. And that's kind of exactly how this podcast was even created, is because of those reflection nights, or those times where we actually we're conscious about, like, let's make sure that we take the time out to reflect. And that's another thing that we decided we're going to do, is be more serious about our schedule and what's on it, and not being a slave to our schedule, you know what I mean? But we create our schedule, so making our schedule what we want it to be, and just making it a dream day, but also getting work done, right?
So with that said, what are your 2023 goals?
2023 goals. So they would be mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual goals.
And these are the categories.
Yeah.
So those are the categories, and then within that category you have line items. And now and before you get into it, because I've asked a few people what their 2023 goals, and some were like, oh, I want to do this, and some were like, I haven't even thought about it. And goals are not things like, oh, I wish, or No, when I ask what your goals are, and they don't even have to be like, oh, I want to lose 150 pounds and be ripped. Like, no, the goals are just like, you know what? I just want to get this done this year. Like, this is something that I was thinking about, and maybe, you know, because of whatever reason, schedule, other obligations, I couldn't get that done. But now I want to do it. Or it's like, you know what? I want to learn something. I want to, whatever the case may be.
Right.
Goals don't have to be crazy extravagant. They don't have to be. But then you have BHAGs, right? And for those that are not familiar with a BHAG, it's a big, hairy, audacious goal. And BHAGs are usually goals that will take you some time. And when I say some time, meaning 5, 10, years out, and you're just working every single year on that BHAG. So you have your traditional goals, which Danielle's about to go into with different, and with the way Danielle just said it, that makes it easier to identify goals, right? Because I know goals can be a little difficult to think about, because you're like, well, I got a house, I got a job, I don't need any goals, right? Or I don't. What else is there out there?
Right.
But if you break it down in those categories, then it's like, am I hitting where I want to be? Am I hitting 5 stars? Like if I was Yelp reviewing myself,
right?
Am I hitting 5 stars in these different categories,
right?
Or not?
Right. And those 4 categories is something once I started yoga that I based my practice on. So yeah, like mentally, it's something that I feel like yearly, monthly, even weekly, that you should check into. Where am I mentally, right? Where's my mental state? Am I allowing people to throw me off? Am I balanced? Am I airhead? You know what I mean? Am I airy? Am I kind of living in the clouds a little bit? Am I not taking things as serious as they should be? What am I filling my mind with? I like ratchet books. Am I reading too many ratchet books and it's flooding into now my life? Different things that I watch on TV. Am I watching too much ratchet TV?
Yes.
You think if I watch any, it's
no, you
flood,
don't,
right?
You don't watch ratchet TV.
No.
But you read ratchet books.
I do. And sometimes I watch murder TV. So, but so things like that, right? So mentally, one of my things is to be very conscious of what I allow to come into my space mentally. Things that I watch, things that I read, understanding how it influences me, and just making sure that I'm ingesting mentally the right things and correct things. Emotionally, this has been kind of an emotional year for me. I'm an emotional person anyways. I'm a Cancer, shout out, but Cancers are moody and emotional. So I understand my emotional side. I understand my moody side. My emotional side, I feel like I get a grip on every now and again, and then it gets away from me. So this year, my goal is to control my emotions a lot more, and not allow everyone to take emotions from me, because everybody doesn't deserve my emotions. Physically, my goals are to run 3 5Ks, and to get back into yoga. And the 5Ks is, like you said, it's not like I have a weight goal. There is a certain weight that I would like to get to, but if I make that a goal, then I feel like it's too much pressure. Yeah, it gets in my head, but if I make goals to just achieve athletic things, I know what it takes to get to those things, and I know that I can't do it at the weight that I am. I mean, I can, don't get me wrong, but I know that I'll feel better, like my knees, my back, the impact. These are things that affect your running, right? So the lighter you are, the better you run. The faster you run, the better the run is. You're not feeling like crap at the end of it. So that's that. And then spiritually, it's the last thing. Spiritually, I'd like to just get back into energy work, into auras, and just recognizing people's spirits and energies. And I want to go to a spiritual retreat, so in the ayahuasca. So that's it.
That's super dope. All in 2023, which is very doable. And you're working towards those things now. You had a nice, interesting conversation New Year's New Year's Eve, which was pretty dope. We went to a dope New Year's Eve party.
Yeah, we did. I love that.
Had some friends there.
Yep.
And it's cool when you got friends that are part of a party and you didn't even know they was going to show up.
Yeah, that's
right?
true
It's
too.
like I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I see you in a little bit. Oh, yo.
Yeah, we got some delicious food.
Yeah. Shout out to Chef Kenneth Anderson.
Yes.
Like, off the chain.
Chef Anderson, it was the bomb. Every single thing, all the way into the end, and they gave us little snacks at the end. And the party started. We had dinner at 7. The party started at 9:00. And we were there till about 3:00 in the morning. So
everywhere.
You had a good time.
We did have a good time. That was the first time we've been out in a long time.
Yes.
And it's been the first, like once a year we get that day off, right?
Yeah.
Like we're like, all right, shut everything down. So nobody was out, nobody was working.
Yep.
So people that don't understand, like Daneyel and I, we have 24/7 operations. So that means people are on the clock in our businesses 24/7
all the time.
So to have that one day when nobody's working, it was like,
nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was super dope.
Everybody from here to the Philippines.
Yeah. So even with the nice little drizzle that we had here in San Diego, the New Year's Eve party, that was super dope.
Yeah, and our drizzle was nothing compared to our girls in the Philippines because they actually had like a typhoon.
Rolled through there.
So they sent us pictures and they were flooded all the way out. I mean, their living room was literally like water running through it.
It was like being in Florida. Like I always say, like so we have 5 employees in the Philippines.
Yep.
So 5 of our employees are in the Philippines, and one of them had a really bad storm hit, and she couldn't work for the last few days.
Yep.
She sent us pictures and videos, and no lie, it looked like Louisiana. And so it's like no matter where you are in the world, like we all got our issues.
Yeah, true.
You know
that.
what I mean? So she couldn't. No internet.
Yeah.
Family was had to evacuate.
Running off of a generator, and they didn't have any gas at the gas station anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's the same stuff that we see here. You know what I mean? But they don't have a FEMA. They don't have they don't have emergency Red Cross and things like that help them out.
And then they need to work. They like no. We want to work because if we don't work, we don't eat.
That's real talk. That's crazy. That culturally, and we get we're not going to the Philippines, but we're going to Bali and Thailand in a few weeks. And people say, "Oh, what you going for?" For content. It'll be part of part of what we talk about on the podcast.
For his birthday.
But yes, it is my birthday. My birthday is coming up, and I'm turning 41 years old.
Aw, damn.
And that's a trip to me. Like to be 41 years
it's
old.
It's a trip to me. I just stayed 35
for a long time.
Yeah, and you just get older. Damn. 41. How's 41 feel? How do you think that's gonna feel?
It feel like 21.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay. I understand.
Lying.
Oh.
I am lying like a motherfucker.
Really? You feel it?
I feel it. I
was in the gym, or
mentally?
Physically. Or emotionally or
so mentally I feel wiser.
Okay.
So for those, when you think about life, right? I'm wiser today because I was a fool. And if you understand that concept, right? When you think about all the dumb stuff that you did, that's why today I make better decisions because I was a foolish human being.
That's like saying I'm the fool today, but I'll be wiser later on in the future.
Exactly. And when I turn 51, I'm a fool at 41.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So mentally, definitely different. Physically, I was in the gym today, and I've been doing this workout. It's the same workout. I've done it 3 times now. No, today was the 4th time. And legit, I am struggling through this workout. Like this shit is no joke.
Every time?
Every time.
Every time.
Today I cut it short because I had to be here and I wanted to be on time. But but legit physically, like I would crush any workout no matter what. But now, I think that's just because I took so much time off. And back in the days when I would take some time off, it would snap back, quick.
Yeah.
Now it ain't snapping back that quick.
It takes a while to snap back, right?
Yeah. But getting into biking, like now with us biking, like I'm on the bike now and I'm biking from home to our office, from the office to the cafe, from the cafe back home.
Getting it.
It's about 16 miles.
Right.
So it's not every day, but it's helping with the cardio. But strength wise, I'm like, what the fuck? Where's it going?
Yeah.
So if you don't use it, you definitely lose it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Your muscles definitely a trophy.
Right.
They get all in and they sink. And then just imagine when you get older, and you haven't used any of those muscles. Like, oh no. Use it or you lose it.
So
is that what they say?
Yeah, you don't believe it, right? You don't be like, that would never happen to me. Never. So now I'm actually like, oh shit, I'm going to the gym. Like no matter what, I am going. Even if I spend 30 minutes in the gym. I'm going to the gym.
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. It's like good little workout. It's amazing.
So let me ask you this. Did you write your goals down?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So that's the most important thing. And you talked about the savers, and in the visual portion of the savers, you got to be able to see what it is that you want.
Yes.
When people talk about things, that like talking about it is one thing. I won't remember what I had a conversation about last week.
Right.
So ain't no way you're gonna really remember your goals unless you write them down.
Yep.
And then the one thing about when people write, say their goals, I'm like, all right, well, how do you plan on achieving them? What's the roadmap?
Right.
So in our company, we have a new role. I came out of nowhere. I created this new role. I was like, what'd you think about that? What's your honest opinion about that?
It's kind of lame, but every time you say it, I'm like, lame. Oh God! I'm like, what is this? What is this? Is this a? I don't know. Like, what are you doing? Is this a? I don't know. Is this a ego thing? Is this a? I'm gonna change my name, or I'm gonna add to my title. I don't know what it was. I was just like, it just came out of nowhere.
Because we ain't talk about it.
No. It's all of a sudden I'm in a meeting with all of our people, and all of a sudden he's like, "This is my new title." I'm like, "Really?
Yeah.
So we're getting new titles, huh? Self-appointed, huh?"
Literally self-appointed. So for those that's wondering, my new role, it's an additional role, right? So it's not like I relinquished one role and picked up another one, but it's a new role. It's called CAP. It's the Chief Accountability Partner in the company.
That's all I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. It's dope. That's dope. But they use call me Cap.
I ain't said no. I ain't telling them to call me Cap. I was like,
it's like, what should we call you?
I was like, call me Tommy. Shit, don't call me Cap. But I just wanted the company I wanted everybody to understand, for us to get to the next level, they have to get to the next level, right?
True. Yeah.
So it's like, it's not about just you and I leveling up, and then that's how the company levels up. No, it takes everybody to level up. So we had everybody write down their goals, and then they submitted their goals to me, and I told them, I'm like, hey, I am now your accountability partner, but I am the chief accountability partner. So now when we have our conversations, we gonna talk about things that you told me was your goals all year.
So listen, I get it, and especially when you change your title on your email signature, your signature. Okay, I'm sorry. Added as an addition. That's hilarious. But what's dope about it is a couple of things, right? One, when you send that email, everybody fucking sees it, and we're all like, our goals, and then you send it, you see it, so it's your reminder. Like, let me make sure they're on their goals. Hey, let me tell y'all what was so dope about him and his new name and him making everybody submit their goals. He did not submit no goals to them. So don't ever know. Is he doing what he said? Is he on his goal? Wait a minute. They didn't even think about that. He got them so hyped. They're just like, okay, but he has goals too. Yeah. He does. And he probably knocked his goals out within. So Tommy's the type of person that he can be a procrastinator at times, but he's the type of person that will wait all the way until the end, right before it's supposed to be done, and he will knock it out excellently. And that's just the way it is. He doesn't like people to wait on him, so he's going to respond back quickly, right? But when it comes to goals, if he puts a due date on it, it's going to happen. If he doesn't put a due date on it, it's going to happen, but on his time, when it feel like it, yeah. And then when it comes to the end or the pressure's there, he'll knock it out.
That's 1,000%. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, that's you.
My to-do list is getting longer, so it's like I gotta start. And that's the other thing. When my to-do list gets a little bigger, then it's like, oh shit, let me start crossing these things out.
And to-do lists are like little goals to me. I mean, definitely shit. It's like, these are things that I want to accomplish, but a little bit at a time. And then there's this greater goal that's going to help me. So the to-do list is everything I got to do to get to my bigger goals.
1,000%. It's those rocks, right? We talked about that before. So one thing, if you don't like saying the word goals, and if goals are just like, fuck that, everybody has goals. Well, what are your rocks? What are these big ass rocks that you just need to be moved? And if you move them, it will change a significant portion of your life. And if you think of it like that, then, rock that way. And if you break it down into those different categories, like Daneyel talked about, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual, it makes it even easier to identify those rocks.
Yes.
Because again, like I said, if you think about yourself as a Yelp review, then, because you're a business, you're the business of yourself. Yes. And that's one thing that people, fail to realize is how they are a business. You manage yourself, you own yourself. Like that's just what it is.
Yeah.
So if you're in the profits side of who you are, or if you're in the wages side, you still have control no matter what.
Real talk.
So just break it down and achieve at a very high and excellent level in your ecosystem.
Right.
Like, not compared to anybody else. Like, no, it's just compared to you from 2022 compared to you of 2023 compared to you of 2013.
Real talk.
That's all it is.
Yeah, I just taught one of our supervisors what rocks were. I had a really good meeting with her, and I told her that I wanted her to create goals. And I said, I'm saying goals now, but from here on out, there'll be rocks. And when I say what's your rocks, then I'm talking about your goals. And I said your rocks I want you to look at and we're going to do 2 different sets. One is your leadership rocks, right? So where do you see yourself as a leader? What do you want to gain as a leader? Think about this. Next week we'll come back, you tell me what you thought of, and I'll tell you what I have. Second is, where do you see the team? Where do you see the company? What are your goals as a leader, and what do you want the company to achieve? What can you make the company achieve, right? And it was really cool just watching her, like, oh, you know what I mean? Because like, if you have a leader that you're of something that you're like someone, a supervisor or something of that sort, and you haven't given them any real goals or anything to achieve or work for, then it kind of gets like boring, right? The job. But when you give them goals and you're on them and you review those and you stay on them and you follow up with it, then they get excited, especially when it's an achievable goal. So I think that's important too. It feels like this conversation turned into goals, but
it did real quick.
I mean, but it's the beginning of the year, so it's like one of those things. Resolutions, right? Like, people do lots of resolutions. I stopped doing resolutions. I remember I wanted to stop smoking marijuana, and I was like, okay, so at 12 o'clock, I'm done, right? So I fell asleep right before it was time, and it was like 11:50, and I woke up like, let me go and
run real quick. How long ago was that?
It was man. It was
I remember that wake up. Well, you talking about a panic.
No, we weren't together.
We wasn't together? I'm sorry. That means that goal came around multiple times.
Yes, it did.
You woke up in a panic.
I got one more joint.
Damn.
So, yes. So I don't so much believe in resolutions because, like you said, it's again and again and again, right? And then you beat yourself up about it, and and even like working out, there was a time where we were in the gym very heavy, and every beginning of the year it was crazy because all these people have these resolutions that they're gonna do this and that, and then by what I say by mid-February, the gym's back normal. You're like, yes, they all dropped off.
Real shit. So when I was at the gym today, I was telling the team here, I was like, yo, you wouldn't believe who I seen in the gym today. I have never seen this brother in the gym. Never. I didn't even know he was a member. But I was like, oh shit. I'm coming in, he's walking down.
That's
like,
funny.
Get the fuck out of here. And then I was like, yo, make sure you send that email so we can have a meeting this week.
It's a new year, so you're gonna see people's Facebooks and their social media is popping. People are gonna be way more active. Like, watch, you'll see, and then you'll see the ebb and the flow. You know what I mean? So it's a new year, so people have that new spirit, and I feel like because it was 2020 was like that sucked, right? 2021 we were coming back. 2022 I feel like we're kind of standing on our feet now. Now everyone's ready, everyone's hungry, and it feels like 2023 people are just like ready to eat it up. So
that's 1,000%. That's 1,000%, and we may or may not have a recession. So we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
As we go into 2023, what this recession might or may not look like.
Yes.
So it is what it is, but it's a great conversation. I love you, girl.
I love you, baby.
This is Lyfe and Shyt.
Lyfe and Shyt.
Do us a favor. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. leave a review. Let us know what your thoughts are. That's the only way that this show is going to be successful. And we appreciate you. Talk with you next time.